Hey everyone, this is Gus. Welcome to what I'm doing. I'm doing another monster. This is a Tulian. This is the guy like a HP kind of Lovecraft kind of stuff. And I did try to do a Tulian priest or something like that. So you are just watching right now. How can I do this Genesis of the monsters since the very, very, very beginning? So what I'm doing is showing you this, and not only showing you this, but I'm doing this from scratch. So you are watching the whole process. Is like watching me doing this for like actually it took me like an hour or so, or probably a little less. But instead of that, you are just watching this in like 14 minutes or 13 minutes or so. So this is the duration of this video. So well, and in the beginning, I just tried to do some kind of monster, but then I tried to get it a little more, not the monstrosity thing, but more of the alien creature. So how this alien creature could use it. So I tried to design the things that you are watching right now. So as you are watching, and as I'm doing here, I'm also doing the stuff based on the speed because I'm trying to do the design. I mean, the design of the creature in just 20 minutes. I did it, and also the other 30 minutes trying to look for a nice kind of painting. I'm not using the regular kind of oil paintings that I've been using. I will be using watercolors. So you will see the watercolors in there. Well, before going to describe a little more in the process, my name is Gus Buenas. I'm a professional illustrator. This is Drawing with Gus. And what we are doing right now is creating a concept art of a character. I just do it from the regular pencils, from the regular sketch that you are watching the process right now. And then I will try to do some color. But instead of doing the regular kind of color that I've been using all this time, I'm going to do a little more challenging stuff, or actually a more cheaper stuff, because if you are an artist, a real one, and you are a struggling artist for so long, sometimes you just realize that the cheaper way to color even your comics or whatever, instead of using inks or acrylic inks, will be using watercolors. So I'm using watercolors, but digital watercolors. I'm using Clear Studio Paint. This is the program that I've been using. So if you want to support this artist, well, there is a link in the description where you can just buy and try Click Studio Paint. This is the program that I've been using, and it's not only for so-called mangas, because I'm a manga artist. So this is pretty much for any kind of artist. You can do whatever art you want using Click Studio Paint. And I'm also using my Wacom, my Cintiq. So I'm not doing any kind of commercial for them or advertising. So I'm just telling you what I'm doing. But let me tell you something that I just learned a long time ago, and somebody just told me, and I hold it dear, and I also hold it like a true. If you want to go professional, your best bet is Wacom. Wacom is the things for professional. And I know that right now there is a Wacom like a 16 or even Wacom 14, or even Wacoms that they look like an iPad Pro and that kind of stuff. So if you are going to go professional, like a professional illustrator or professional character artist in 2D, which is the thing that I've been doing, you will need more than 20 inches. So whatever is bigger than 20 inches or bigger than 16 inches is good. 16 inches is okay, but it's a little kind of hobbyist kind of thing. That's what many people think. But if you want to go really professional, let me tell you, 20 inches is the best. Also, you need a powerful computer. I mean, you need something. Well, I'm also a gamer, so you need something that you can game in. So not only that, you need something that has a nice graphic card. I have a RX 580. It's a little outdated right now, but it's 8 gigabytes of graphic memory, which is more than enough to handle sometimes. And sometimes it cannot handle, like you see, for it in the video. But I have 32 gigabytes of memory, It's a DDR4 PC 3000 megahertz or something. And I also have a Ryzen 7 5700X. That is the chipset. And then the case that I'm using is a case that has a lot of vents and also a lot of fans. So I'm using like a liquid cooling and fans. So that is the kind of setup that you have to have if you want to be professional. Also, there is this kind of professional already made. Computers are like $3,000 or $4,000. Yep, if you ask me, that is the way you can go. But I apologize because in this part I just forgot to disconnect the EOS webcam utility that I'm using, because yesterday I was live streaming my art and I was using the webcam. So well, anyway, so here as you can see, I'm trying to do the nice thing with the watercolors. I'm trying to use a watercolor brush that is highly texturized, and I didn't like it much, so I use another that is called, let me see, it's called the raw wash, because I try to use the wet wash, but let me tell you, the wet wash is so slow, so I guess it's not the way to do it. So well, like you guys remember when you were like a starving artist and we were trying to save on materials and save on something, but we did want to do our stuff. I mean, or stuff really in this art. So we rely on watercolors, heavily rely on watercolors, because the watercolors, they gave us a lot of light in my case, but also the watercolors can give you the cheapness. So it's cheap. I mean, it's cheap. A watercolor is like $5 or something. Is you don't have to buy anything extra. Well, the watercolor brushes, that depends on what kind of watercolor brushes you are using. They tends to be expensive, but if you are using the cheap watercolor brushes, they are very good. So as you can see right now, I'm doing in watercolors. This is the digital watercolors. And I found this particular brush very similar to the ones I used in the past. I mean, in the real watercolor, in the real world, not the digital kind of thing. So I'm trying to do more of this watercolor, trying to get at the vibe, to just remember what I do. Just a little remind you, in watercolors, there's no white color. So you can just contaminate with white if you're using, or, blend with white. If you are using like acrylics, if you are using gouache, or if you are using other opaque media. But the problem with this opaque media, the watercolor, is that the white tends to be the paper. And there is some watercolors that include whites, but I won't recommend that because they look so pretty bad. I don't like it. So yeah, for that reason, I'm using the watercolors right now. Well, as you can see, I'm trying to get a vibe, get a shadows of this character, and trying to do a little more about it, and then try to get it done. So, well, after saying that, well, let me remind you guys that I'm trying to do more content. So if you have an idea that you want me to do the concept art, I will do it. Just send me a text message with your description of your character, what is your idea, and I'll try to make it real. So I'm using here, as you can see, the watercolors, and I'm trying to get a vibe, because the last time that I did watercolors was a long time ago, and having been using watercolors in real life, and this kind of brush, even though it's digital, it behaves the same way that a watercolor used to behave. At least that is what I think. So there is another brush that you can use also, is the one that is called the watery brush, which is not, it's like a watercolor, but it's like a watercolor with water. So you can use it for blending, for doing some kind of effects. Yeah, see, I'm using that and giving like a white tonality. So it's okay to make light in some parts, and then start making another adjustment. Like right now, I'm doing some adjustment about the color, but I really like that. So yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to get a vibe of this, and also I'm colorizing the lines. You can colorize the lines just going into your thing, and you see the thing that is just right beside the little like a, it looks like a lighthouse. Well, that little light there, well, it's called, click to the layer below so you can just start colorizing the lines. So I colorize the lines, and then I just blend over everything. I mean, just make it into just one, and I have to redo the thing to make a new layer. So right now I'm trying to get a little more of the shadows. I'm using, and I'm finishing some finishing retouches using like ink, the same way that we'll use watercolor, because just for you to remember, when you're using watercolors over ink, it tends to opaque the ink and sometimes make it everything's like a plain, like dull. So if you want to have like a little more like it looks more 3D, so you have to use the, again, repass with the ink. That's what I'm doing. I'm repassing ink and trying to get a little vibe and make a little more colors and more contrast. I like to work with contrast a lot. So well, also just before this video finishing, let me remind you, if you want to support this artist, there's a link in the description of the video for PayPal, so you can just buy me a PayPal. it's like a buy me a $3 cup of coffee, and I will appreciate that. That will go towards getting better equipment. And just for you to remind you guys, this is not my bread and butter. I'm a professional illustrator and also a graphic artist. So this is some sort of like a hobby, but I like this channel to have more subscribers, because I think that I've given you all the hints that I've been learning, watching YouTube videos and well, right now I'm using ink, white ink. This is the same way you are using a white marker when you are using markers, or what is other, when you are using watercolors. You can just finish with white ink, so you can have this kind of like a shining part, and also you are giving more contrast. So the parts are a little more distinctive, and you are given the idea of the metallic parts, that they are part metal, and the what is this, when the light is bouncing back in the darkest place. And also I'm using another thing on different colors, because see, this is the way it looks. It looks nice, but I like it more separated for the background. So what I'm gonna do is just do another background. And right now I have it separated, and I will do the glaze. The glaze is something that you can just find it in YouTube. There is some parts where you can do the glaze. Well, guys, I'm just finishing, and thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe and help this channel grow. Bye.